So today we're going to be talking about Java packages, and we're going to look at what is a Java package and types of Java packages, and how to use classes declared in different packages in Java. We're going to look at sub-packages, how to name packages, and how to use the static import statement, which is a very important keyword in Java. And then we're going to end this lecture with advantages of packages. Packages is kind of similar to file structure on your computer, which helps to easily arrange the files that you have in your computer. So packages is just a term for arranging your files in Java, your Java classes, interfaces, and things related to your application. So these are some learning resources. If you just go to Geeks for Geeks, Java Oracle Docs, tutorial points, Java T-Point, and W3 schools, you can find different things related to Java and Java packages and different helpful tutorials for you as well. So what is a package? A package is a term used to classify a group of similar types of classes, interfaces, or sub-packages. And in Java, it's not recommended to put every single thing in your main class. I know we've been doing that these past weeks, but we need to be able to classify and arrange our Java application just so it makes it clean and it's like best code practices. So if a new developer comes into your team, you can the new developer be able to understand what class does what and what class inherits from what class. So it's just for easy identification and just for clean application process. So it's not recommended to put all your Java classes in a single folder, and packages helps to organize classes. So we've got two types of packages. We've got your user-defined package, which is package defined by the user. So for example, if you have a loan app, you can declare two different kinds of packages, one package for mortgage, one package for car loan. And then if you have a system, the second one is the system defined package, which is defined by Java. And this has all the standard libraries that we can import and use. So Java has a lot of packages for us to use, which helps make our programming easier. So some examples are like scanner that we've used before, then the java.lang, java.awt, javax, swing, net, java.io, java.util, then the SQL. So when you're declaring a class, when you're declaring a package, a class, and you're declaring a class in the package, your class needs to be, some package declaration must occur when a class defined in a package is referenced in another class in a different package. So when you create a new class in a package and you want to use that class in another class that is in a different package, you need to declare where that class is. So you need to declare what package that class is in, because Java cannot identify it unless you declare it. So we're going to create two packages called first package with one class called first class, and a second package with a class called second class. So can everyone still see my screen? I created an application called Packages Explanation to explain what packages are. And to create a package, you go to your source folder, which is where all your Java classes and interfaces and abstract classes, subclasses stays in. You right click on it, you click on new, and then you go to package. And so the name of our first package is first package. We've created our first package. In this first package, we can then create our class, which is, you right click on it, click on new, and click on Java class first. class. And then we will create our second package. Right click on the source folder and you click on package, second package. In our second package, we'll create a new class called Java. Oh, second class. So we've created two packages. The first package has one class called first class, and the second package has another class called second class. And if I open second class, which is open here, you can see that Java automatically says second class is a part of second package. So it's basically saying that this folder, if I use it in like normal computer terms, this folder contains a file called second class. And this is what Java used to store your files. Because if you go to your file directory in your computer, if I go to open, and I don't think this screen is sharing. If I go to my file structure, my file directory, and I go to idea projects, and I go to package explanation, and I go to source, I can see that the two packages I've created are automatically in my file directory. And my first class is in my first package, which is here, and my second class is in my second package. So it's just like a file system to store your classes. I'm going to share my screen again. So as I was saying, second class is in second package. And if I go to first class, I'll see that first class belongs to first package. So thankfully, Java automatically does that for us. But if you want to use, we'll get to that. So we've created the first two packages. And like I said, Java uses files to store packages. And we have two ways to declare classes when you're defining them in another class, in another package. You either use a fully qualified class name. So this occurs when you're creating an object of a class in another class. So we created two classes, first class and second class. We'll create an object of first class in the second class. And to do that, we need to declare what package our first class is in. And we have two types. You can either import it, or you can use a fully qualified class name, which basically means that you write the full, is similar to the path. So you write the full path of where your first class is. So the example here is first package dot first class, and then your object name equals to first package dot first class. But this is not really advised to be used because it can lead to confusion, repetition, because if you want to create like 5 objects, you have to do the same first package dot first class, class 2, first package dot first class, class 3, etc. So it's not really versatile to use this method, but we'll see how we will use it in this example. So we'll create a new object of first class in second class. And I will I'll share my IntelliJ again. So this is my second class. And I'm going to create my objects. It's going to be first package. I think I need to put in my main class. Public static void main. X and then first package dot first class, then my class name, which I will name first class 1, equals to first package dot first class. Oh, sorry, we need to put a new keyword, new first package, because this is the way to create an object. So first package, the first class 1 equals to new first package, this first class. So when the compiler is running, compiler will check and confirm that, oh yes, first class belongs to first package. If first class is not in first package, then an error will be thrown. If I make a mistake and I just write F class, class is not defined in first package, so compiler will not be able to find it. So first class dot first package, and then from there we can do first class dot whatever. We've not defined anything now first class, so we can't really do anything with that code. The second way is to use import statements, and this is more versatile because you can import the statement. Once you import the statement, you don't have to repeat anything again. You import it and that's it, and it just defines everything and makes it easy to use. So import statement is a better way to declare classes in other packages. So to use the import statements, just below where your package was stated, below the first line of your code and before your class, that's where your import statement will stay. So just anything above your class name, before your class name was declared, any line above that class name, that's where your import statement will stay. So you just simply say import first package dot first class, and wherever the reference is in the whole application, the compiler finds it and uses it for that class that says, oh, I want to import the methods or everything that belongs to this first class. I want to use it. So once you've referenced it, compiler will find it for you and use it for your class. We have two types of imports statements. There's the implicit imports and there's the explicit imports. Implicit imports is very useful when you have a lot of classes in a package. So you just use the asterisk symbol and then Java automatically imports every class in that package. So if you have like 100 classes in your package, I know Java has the java.util, which has a lot of classes in that package. So you can just use the asterisk and you basically say import first package dot asterisk. So it's very useful if you have multiple classes that you want to be imported in that your class that you need it in. You just use the star and it easily imports everything for you in one line instead of you repeating and using fully qualified class name. And explicit import is explicitly stating the class you want to import, like this example that I gave up here. So I said here that explicit imports is better than implicit because implicit can bring about confusion. Like you can import classes that you don't necessarily need, and it can lead to confusion on which class was actually used for that class that you're importing in. So if you have a lot of classes in your package and you import everything that you don't need everything, other developers might not know what class you imported because obviously you use asterisk sign, not explicitly saying, oh, this is a class from this package that I need. So explicit is better, but if you need a lot of classes defined in the same package, you can use the asterisk symbol. So we'll create we use the import statement to import our first package in our application, and we'll create a new class so we can see how implicit import works. So first of all, we'll first create a new class here called third class. And to see implicit import in action, we'll basically say import first package dot star. So I've imported all the classes in my first package. So my first class and my third class, my second class can use it because of this import keyword. And I would comment this one out, and I'll create my first class. So I can easily create my first class now because I have imported it. So first class 2 equals to new first class. Can also create a third class because I implicitly imported all the classes in first package. Third class equal new third class. My push semicolon. If I explicitly import first package dot third class, and I comment this one out, again error because first class is not imported because I only imported third class, so I have to import first class. So if I click on Alt Enter, it imports it for me. So this is just how explicit and implicit import works. So Java has different import statements. There's the import Java dot. We have a lot of packages in Java. You can import the IO, which is the input and output. You can import the util. You can import time SQL. We import the util dots. Consider it has a lot of things. Function, and then it has a lot of classes. So these are the classes in function. So depending on what you need, what class you need, you can import as required. Import is very useful when creating different Java applications. Import the Java defined packages. Java.util.scanner is a class in Java that helps you to take in user inputs. Some points to note is that a class can only have one package, can only be declared in one package. So you cannot, a class can only have one package. It's basically like inheritance. A package can have a lot of classes, but a class can only belong to one package. It cannot belong to two packages, because Java wants it to be simplified and one class to one package. You can import as many classes as you want from a package, like we imported the first class and the third class. And you cannot use import of fully qualified class name in a class for another class in the same package. So I'll give an example of that. These my two classes, first class and third class, are in my first package. I cannot import first class into third class because they belong to the same package. So I cannot say import first package dot. I cannot say import first class rather, because they're in the same package. So you can only import, or only if you use the full name, that's when you can import it, but there's no point because they belong to the same package. So you have access to the first class anyway. So you can only, it's not really useful. It's just tautology. Sub package is basically a package declared in another package. For example, in the Java class, Java is a package, and these are the sub-packages, the lang, the util, the awt, and the sub-packages have classes in them. So the lang class has the system.class, string.class, the util has the array list, the map, and the awt has the button class. So you can create classes and interfaces in the sub-package like shown in this diagram below. You cannot implicitly import classes in the sub-packages from packages. So what this statement is trying to say is that if I have a Java package, I cannot say java.arraylist and import it. I have to go through the process and say java.util.arraylist because this arraylist is in this package, not in this package. The util package is in Java package, so it's just nested into them, and you can only define it as it is. So only java.util.arraylist. We're going to create a sub package now and see how that works. So I'm going to create a new package here called sub package. And in my class, I'm going to say subclass 1. If I want to use it in my second class, I have to say import first package dot sub package dot subclass 1 or asterisk, which is everything in the first sub package. So if I want to use this subclass 1, I have to go through the process of importing, of explicitly stating where subclass 1 is. So subclass 1 is in first sub package, which is in first package. So this is how subclasses work. They are nested in each other, and you can't go straight to first package subclass 1. You won't find it because subclass 1 doesn't belong to first package, it belongs to first sub package, so it needs to be referenced properly. To name your packages, it's always advisable to name your package in lowercase to avoid confusion with classes. Sometimes your package might have the same name as your class, and you wouldn't want to interpret it in, you want to exchange it for another. So it's always advisable to name your packages in lower cases. And naming conflicts can occur if you have classes in different packages with the same name. But this, if you're trying to import it, if you don't import it correctly, compiler will not know which class to use. So in this case, you need to explicitly import. For example, if I have two first class, one in my first package and one in my second package, I need to explicitly state which one I'm using. So the compiler would know which one should be correctly imported. And using full qualified class name is generally used when two packages have the same name. So for example, java.util and java.sql contain the date class. So we need to explicitly state this. So we'll just say java.util.date or java.sql.date, whichever one we need, to explicitly state which date class we need in the packages. Static import statements. So this helps us to access any member of a static class. So if let's say there's a static method in a class or a static variable, we can use the static import statement to import that member of that class. So there's no need to qualify it by the class name. For example, the Java math class has a static method called square roots. And to use that, you basically just say math.square roots. And when you import it, you need to use the static keyword. So import static java.lang.math.square roots. So instead of multiple declaration of square roots if needed anytime, the static statement can be imported. I'll give an example. So if I just wanted to use the maths.square roots and just print out for do this in an integer, a equals double a equals 4.0, and then I'll print out a. If I run this, it should give me 16. Oh, it should give me 2, sorry, because it's square root, not square. So because I could use this because the math class is a Java standard class. But instead of if I need square roots all the time, I have to be doing math.square roots, which can be quite repetitive. So all I just need to do is import it using the static keyword. And then I'll just say import static java.lang.math.square roots. So I have imported the square roots, and instead of me referencing it with the math, I can just say square roots in the end. So instead of me declaring it all the time, I've imported it, and if I want to use square roots anywhere in my class, I can just use square roots because I imported it, and it gives me 4 because square root of 16 is 4. The last thing we're going to talk about is the benefits of packages. One benefit of package is the reusability, and it leads to well-organized and cleaner code. So you can easily find where your code is when you put them in packages. It helps you to be organized. And like I said earlier in the lecture, if a new programmer comes in, the programmer understands how your classes are defined and how they are arranged in your application. It also makes search and usage of classes and interfaces easier because package allows for a convention of naming, and when you need to reference it is easy and simple to use. And it helps to avoid naming conflicts. It also provides controlled access to classes, so it promotes data encapsulation. Yeah, so these are the benefits of packages. It's very useful, and also when you're doing different architectures of your application, it helps to make sure that your architecture is in sync with what you actually want for your application.